Bangladesh on the boil, the killing of a youth leader there has sparked protests and violence and reignited concern of the status of minorities, also questions over the future of the elections there. And now India has rejected misleading propaganda in sections of Bangladeshi media over a protest held in front of the Bangladesh High Commission in New Delhi. The protest was held against the killing of a Hindu man in Bangladesh. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson has said that there was no breach of security or threat to the diplomatic mission, but Bangladesh took the confrontation further. It rejected India's comments, questioning how the protesters were allowed to come so close to the installation in a secure diplomatic enclave. In fact, Bangladesh's Foreign Affairs advisor has threatened to scale back Dhaka's diplomatic presence in India if the situation worsens. India temporarily shut a visa center in Dhaka following a march by a large group of anti-India protesters towards the Indian High Commission on Thursday. The crowd even pelted stones. India also had to close 2 visa application centers due to the ongoing security situation. And compared to these, the protests in New Delhi were peaceful, involved only a handful of youth. The recent surge in violence in Bangladesh coming after the killing of a youth leader there. Hadi was shot on December 12 in Dhaka by masked gunmen during an election campaign. He died while receiving treatment in Singapore on Thursday. His death sparked massive protests as well as violence. Another youth leader has been shot at today, this time in Khulna. And in the days following Hadi's death, Bangladesh has witnessed anti-India protests, violence against minorities and political leaders. In fact, a Hindu youth was lynched by a mob after he was accused of blasphemy, reportedly, with no evidence found against him. In another attack, a mob reportedly torched the house of a BNP leader. Reports saying that Bilal Hussein's house was locked and set on fire by some miscreants. While Bilal and his 2 other daughters suffered severe burns, his 7-year-old daughter could not survive the attack. BNP is a major political force after outlawed Awami League of Sheikh Hasina. Bangladesh is set to hold elections in February, next year, and Election Commission has also held a high-level meeting with representatives of the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. The agenda was the law and order situation ahead of the elections. And hours before the meeting, the chiefs of Bangladesh's Army, Navy and Air Force also met with the Election Commissioner. Meanwhile, the acting chairman of Bangladesh Nationalist Party called upon all political parties that believe in democracy to remain united in the interest of safeguarding the country's democratic future. Rahman said that the coming days will not be easy and different forms of anarchy have already started or are being instigated in various parts of the country. The editor of the Daily Star reacted to an arson attack on media organizations. Mehfooz Anam said that in Bangladesh's 53-year history, no media organization had ever faced an arson attack like the recent one targeting the 2 dailies. Anam urged political parties to recognize and accept critical journalism as a fundamental pillar of good governance. And earlier we spoke to experts on the current situation in Bangladesh. Listen into what they shared with us.
Regime change operation was done by Pakistan through Jamaat-e-Islami with the backing of external powers, as we well know. So now the thing is, having done that, you have a regime which has installed itself and which is actually in violation of the constitution of Bangladesh. But even if you have a provision for a caretaker government, it has to be a non-party caretaker government, which again, provision was violated. And Dr. Mohammed Yunus himself is going abroad in China and talking about Northeast India and claiming that only Bangladesh has access to Northeast India. And these kind of provocative statements combined with attacks on minorities has certainly led to a very difficult situation in bilateral relations.
we see competitive nationalism among all the other parties. The protests we're seeing that are extreme, radical, and pushing this anti-India sentiment that Ambassador Sikri was mentioning are, I think, from the radical party, more and more radical wings of different parties that are trying to gain an electorate running on anti-India sentiments, anti-Awami League sentiments, pre-2024 sentiments, that everything was wrong pre-2024. That's normal in elections. It's, of course, a very, very dire situation, but in every neighboring country, we see competitive nationalism and competitive anti-Indianism spiraling often upwards pre-elections.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.